Good Thursday. Hope everyone is doing well. It is your coach, Carla Nicole. So, this day I would like to talk about physical attraction and why long term in love affairs, how much we're physically attracted matters. But before I deep dive onto that, the shirt I'm wearing, Solo, is my line. I created this shirt and this logo to remind us that our first love is with ourselves. And as long as we are healthily loving ourselves, then loving anyone outside of us is going to come very easy. And the reminder that we need to make sure that we don't think that just doing things we enjoy, like spa days and traveling and all the pleasures of life, equates to us loving ourselves. No, we have to actually sit down and understand and be mindful and intentional with how we love ourselves. Okay? Just a friendly reminder, I do have self-love acts that is available. If you would like for me to send you self-love acts 1 through 4, please text my number. It's 844-594-7366 and hashtag self-acts. Once you do that, what I will do is you will immediately receive the text in return from me personally, giving you self-love acts 1 through 4 to use as soon as you get it. Self-loving is not easy, but self-loving is important because however well we love ourselves will determine how we love our lovers, our children, our friends, family, and everyone else. So, SOLO stands for Shine On Loving Oneself. SOLO. Shine on loving oneself. Just a friendly reminder. Okay? So, welcome. I wanted to talk today about physical attraction and why physical attraction matters in relationships. So, just to help us to understand, a lot of times when we get involved in relationships, we don't really realize that when we get involved with someone, it depends on the season, it depends on even our past experience, and also how much of our past we cleared out from our mind and cleared away from and let go of. That determines how our physical attraction towards someone is going to impact how we are relating in the relationship. So what I mean by that is a lot of times we will have relationships, and in those relationships we will be desirous of the person we're dating or who we're involved with. However, until we really, really are honest with ourselves about how much we are attracted, we will find that how we anger, what our tolerance level is of certain acts or things we don't like come up. we will understand that when you are really attracted or you have a strong sense of connection with your love that you're involved with, you will realize that your anger, your tolerance level will be very high when you have a high attraction for your lover. Okay? Now, I know it's going to seem odd, but it's true. We don't ever really realize this part because we never really sit down and think about it. When you are attracted to your lover and you find that you get along well and everything's working well, you realize that you really are more apt to being tolerant of certain things that maybe if you didn't have that same attraction for them, you would be. So when we look at this kind of thing, we never really think about, well, man, I really have a better tolerance with the lover I'm with now because I have a higher attraction. Yes, that's true. So it's impeccable that we pay attention to this rule. The reason why is because in long-term relationships, which means long-term could be, we'll just say a life cycle, which is 7 years or longer, is I would consider long-term. When you are with someone for that duration of time, a lot of times we have our moments where we may be in like frustration with each other. We may be disappointed in each other. We may find ourselves just not seeing eye to eye about certain things. Yet, when things like this happen, we don't lose our patience or lose our attraction for them. We actually give it more grace because of the attraction. So attraction does matter in long-term relationships. I think it's important that we think about this because a lot of times we don't realize that the relationship you're in, ask yourself a very intricate question. Are you in the relationship because you are attracted for real, or did you convince yourself to be attracted? And why I say this is sometimes when we initially get involved with someone, we may say to ourselves, they're really not my type. Or I didn't really feel sparks. Or I didn't get butterflies. Or I wasn't really moved by what they look like physically. But because we ended up engaging and having time together, spending time together, we started to date, we started to, evolve into a relationship. Now what I have is a comfort with my relationship. However, my attraction really hasn't changed. It's just that now I'm involved with my relationship. So in this involvement, I'm pretty good and involved and okay in it. And I think that's fine, but what we don't realize is it is at a risk for being I would say pushed into a negative space if in time something happens to where you and she or you and he become very frustrated with each other because of something that happens. And a lot of times we don't talk about why physical attraction is important, but I think it is. I think we should be honest with, am I really attracted, or have I convinced myself to be attracted? Did I have friends or family members sit me down and tell me why I should be with this person? Or am I just really with this person? Is it someone that I really enjoy being with? Or did I actually get convinced in? The reason why this matters is because in long-term relationships, you start to realize that, oh, when push comes to shove, or when certain circumstances happen or certain situations come up, my tolerance and patience And the grace given to this relationship whenever something comes up is very low. So what that means is if I really didn't have a strong attraction originally, and we go through some turbulence in the relationship, what you will notice is you're quick to anger. You're also less likely to be quick to forgive, though. And then your silent thoughts to yourself is as follows. Well, he's really not really my type. Or she's really not a type of girl I would be talking to. But, I mean, we're together, but not if we were really to look at it, she's really not even my type for real. So when we look at these type of conversations that we have with ourselves, when turbulence happens, when disappointments happen, when all kinds of outside events come up and affect the harmony in the relationship, what happens is we end up calling ourselves being less engaged or being less okay in the relationship, because now we're finding ourselves more frustrated and we feel as though, you know what, I could be doing better. So now, guess what happens when the physical attraction isn't really high? It's at high risk to be ruined. I wanted to talk about this because I have been seeing currently, there's been a lot of conversation about Travis and his fiance, and her saying that originally she wasn't attracted to him. And I noticed that a lot of people came for her because of her, just her being transparent, that he just wasn't who she was physically attracted to. Well, I understand why people would be alarmed or would be concerned for Travis, because of course that is a challenge in and of itself, to be with someone that maybe isn't really attracted to you. But the real concern is that if your lover or who you are with isn't very attracted, they're quicker to anger. And on a couple of videos I've seen of her and his interaction, I noticed that that she was quick to anger, and it seemed like she had a slow return to get to affection. And when this happens, it's not because of any other reason but that when you are not as attracted, your tolerance level isn't as high. So if she would have said that she was very attracted to him in the beginning and there was this undeniable appeal that she was drawn to physically with him, then normally when we have those appeals and we have those attractions, normally we do a little, we extend ourselves out more. We become more forgiving in how we tolerate things that maybe we wouldn't tolerate with someone that we're not as attracted to. So I wanted to talk about this because I think we don't really realize that in relationships, when there is a low tolerance because of lack of attraction, there seems to be more high chances that you're going to have intervals or times in your relationship more frequently that you are not getting along. When this energy or when these intervals come up in the space and time in the relationship, a lot of times there is a very little chance or low chance that there is a pushback to try to return to the intimacy. So, with that said, when you're in a relationship, you want to see and be honest with you about what your original appeal, attraction was. Not to say that you cannot become or grow and appeal for someone. Yes, you can. Yes, you can grow in attraction for someone. However, it's going to take more effort, more time, more investment, more conscious decision making to be more tolerant, more patient with that lover. Because again, when we have a high attraction, we normally are going to be more giving and understanding and more tolerant of things not going our way. This is just human nature. So when I was hearing a lot of concern regarding the Travis situation, I understand now that yes, that can cause some challenges, of course. However, we also have to be mindful that even in our own relationships, be it that we got married to them, be it that we're still dating them, being that we're moved in together, be it that we ended up, settling down with them and conjoining and merging our life with them. Even with that, still comes the same type of vibe, whereas I just wasn't attracted at first. This person had to kind of grow on me. This person kind of had to become, a person that I started to pay attention to or started to notice, if you know what I mean. And so because of that, you will notice that, my relationship, yes, it is what it is. But if I had an undeniable attraction for my man or my woman, as an example, male or female, you can see that, oh my gosh, I see that I have more tolerance. Well, when we're in the phases of dating and we're in the thrust of learning someone else new and we're trying to get to know someone, we try to hold back us being too overly attracted because 9 times out of 10 we want to rush to our feelings. We want to rush the relationship to develop. We want to rush things. And so we try to protect ourselves from being too attracted because we feel like, well, if I'm too attracted, then I'm going to be doing too much. And again, that's true. You can be in that circumstance as well. But I wanted to help you to think about something. And I think it may shed some light on how to realize why you seem to not be as forgiving or tolerant. Think back when you first got with your lover, your mate, your husband, your wife, your girl, your guy, whatever. Think back. Think back when you first started being together. Were you really attracted to them? I mean, really? Or not so much? Were you more or less like, I mean, I really didn't see them, or, they kind of pursued me, or I really wasn't paying them much mind. I really wasn't into them like that. That matters. Because once you're in a long-term relationship and you realize that life starts happening, relationships go through their turbulence and they go through their changes, you start to realize, ooh, you know what? I'm not as tolerant. I get angry really fast. I get an attitude really quickly. And I stay mad long, and I have no problem pulling away from affection. I can shut down all sexual activity with no qualms because I'm not really attracted anyway. So to just shut it off is no big deal for me. Yeah. You may want to see and really evaluate for you. Is it because you just weren't really attracted? Because if that's the case, this is the reason why the health of your resilience, which means your comeback, you're wanting to be back in the arms of each other, seems to take longer, seems to not be as quick, seems to be damn near non-existent. This is why. Because you're just not that into them. And when this happens, unfortunately, we find ourselves in our private thoughts. We either still low-key still have desires for an ex, or still pining over a past love that we had, or we stay in our wish and our desire for someone else. And unfortunately, that's kind of where you're at with it. And when this happens, let me be totally clear. Once you're able to be honest with you and you find out, ooh, I'm in a relationship, but I'm really not attracted. I'm really not into it that much, because I just don't have that, undying desire to be with them. Once you get down to the nitty gritty and into this truth with yourself, you want to really start to evaluate how you got here. You can reach me if this is your scenario and your truth. This is what I'm here for. You're welcome to set up an appointment with me. Right now I'm running a special for 30 minutes for just $29, and you can sit down with me and we can talk about this. Because the truth of the matter is, if this really is how you truly feel, once you sit down and really own that I'm in this relationship, but I'm really not that attracted. Once you own that, it's high time that you start to really get serious about moving forward in that relationship. Because the truth is, if you have very low attraction for them, you may not really be into the relationship that well. And when you're really not into that relationship, that person can feel it, and they may have a higher attraction to you. So because they have a higher attraction to you, they're willing to, be in this, like, I guess we would say unequal attracted relationship. But the truth of the matter is, they feel it also. They don't feel that you really are wanting to be there. And they probably haven't been able to articulate it either. So it really will serve you well to come to terms with this, because you should have this conversation with you, and then you and I can sit down and come up with a plan, a strategy as to, did you actually have the original desire to be with them, or were you convincing yourself? And then this way we can talk about, well, this is where we're at, and what avenue do you want to take from here? Because really, to be honest, you deserve to have attraction, but you also deserve to be honest with you, and then you also deserve to have something with someone that is going to really be happy that they are also in it with you. Because if they're not feeling that you are attracted, 9 times out of 10 they're feeling like, they're pulling teeth, or that the person that they're with is just not that into it. And that starts to take a toll on them psychologically as well. So you want to really be honest with you. I'm just saying, consider it. I'm a phone call away. It's 844-5-WISDOM, extension 0. Or you can text 844-594-7366 and hashtag CoachMe29. And we can sit down and talk about this. Because if you're really not that attracted to the lover you're with, how much longer are you going to go like this? You know what I'm saying? How much longer are you going to stay in a relationship where you're just feeling like humdrum in it and not really enjoying it like you should. So, I'm out of here, guys. It's your coach, Carla Nicole. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you get notified when I go live. And then also, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate everybody here. It's your coach, Carla Nicole. Have a great day, guys. Bye.